Hey guys, just thought I'd have an honest chat today about a couple of changes that have happened in the last 2 years, and hopefully you can get something out of it. I don't want you to receive this story taking it as, oh yeah, that's a really nice story, and it's great what he's gone through. This story I'm sharing with you intimately from my life, for the only purpose of trying to get the message across, to you and to anyone else that you want to share this with, that, well, most of us are in a situation where we work way too hard and we're a total slave to a system that is there, that has been around for multiple generations, and it is all based on a lie. And what I'm talking about is the narrative that we are to go to school, we are to do as well as we can in school so that we can get high grades to go to university, so that we can rack up a HECS debt, get a qualification, a bit of paper, and use that bit of paper to get a job, which hopefully is our dream job. And then with that job, we should go out and get a house with a large mortgage and pay it off. And maybe by the time we're 60 or 65 more likely, we can retire, and then we can feel success, happiness, vitality, wealth, all that stuff. And it's a total illusion. And so I know that that's hard for people to absorb. I understand that because I was totally caught in it. I was totally engrossed in it in so many different ways. I was, chasing, that narrative everywhere I went, and a lot of it revolved around money and certain identities that I needed to uphold. And so I'll talk a little bit about that identity in just a moment, but I've just come off basically a full-on night shift here, and so I'm super tired. I'm on about 2 hours sleep, but I thought I'd just get up and do this video. So I want to rewind 2 years ago, and I was working full-time in an ambulance service, and I'm in a remote town where there's a lot of traveling, so a lot of fatigue, and I've been working for 8 years prior to that in a full-time manner, also creating these businesses and not-for-profits on the side, trying to be a really good father to a couple of beautiful children, trying to be a really good husband. And on top of that, I was at university. So throwing all that stuff together, I guess I got to the point where I had my identity that's over here of being this father who needs to be working full time, who needs to be earning over a certain amount of money, so that I can, when people ask me what I do and that sort of thing, that it will be respectful, like that it will be kind of accepted within the social kind of bubble that we're in. I mean, it sounds ridiculous me talking about it because I've left that all behind, but if that is your truth, then there's a few questions that you need to ask yourself. It was for me, and I was completely engrossed in this to the point of exhaustion. And what happened is I had this identity over here of this father figure earning X amount of money, so that we can put in the mortgage, we can all be really safe, and yeah, it just became a complete obsession, and I wouldn't ever show any vulnerability to anybody. So what you're seeing here, I wouldn't have dreamed of doing 2 years ago. So I'm always good, I'm always okay, I've got this, I'm in control. That's the identity that I had. And I'm sure that some of you can also identify with this as well. So I linked my productivity to my worthiness. And so if I wasn't productive anymore, that really challenged that identity. And that's my ego mind. And so I made the decision after realizing that I couldn't hold it together. I was depressed, to a point where it wasn't totally severe, but I had depressive states, and I would have a terrible inner dialogue to myself. And I had high blood pressure. My hair was falling out in chunks, so it became a visual thing. And I come to the point where it was just like, are we going this way or are we going this way? And it challenged my values. So I was confronted with that, and I got to a point where, a lot of people use the word surrender, but I got to the point where I literally gave up that identity in an instant, and I surrendered it. I gave it up. I said, I'm done with it because it doesn't serve me in line with my true absolute inner values. So I'm not putting my health, or giving my energy away to an organization or to a business or to other entities. I'm not giving my energy out anymore. I'm going to now keep it for myself. And so I went part-time, and that happened very easily. So, that all just fell beautifully into place. My wife was, amazing through this time. She was encouraging it, saying, yes, go part-time, go part-time. So that allowed me to release that identity of that kind of, that fatherly, masculine identity. I could just give that up. So that was amazing. And then also just having acceptance, total acceptance for where I am right now. And it was at that point where I had that acceptance and I surrendered up that identity that you receive all of your energy again. And so all of the healing started. I got into, doing lots of meditation, spending time just for me, just myself. And I remember thinking, describing this as a selfish time. And it was a time where I'm allocating my own time before I give it away. So it's sort of like pay yourself first. You know how the accountants love to say that, when you get your pay, make sure you pay yourself first before you pay your rent or your mortgage. And, that's the same here. So it's the same with your energy. And, as soon as you wake up in the morning, what do? Most of us just reach straight for the phone and we have a look at it, and we have a look at maybe an email that might have popped up overnight, or maybe you scroll through Facebook and start to get yourself, worked up a little bit about somebody else's opinion. Maybe, you're just checking your messages. I don't know, but most people just seem to reach for their phone because that's where all the information is. That's where entertainment is, all of that stuff. But what if you flipped it around? And this was huge for me. What if you just said, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm just going to do some journaling. I'm just going to write stuff down. What if from now on I just go outside and watch a sunrise? What if I do some exercise, do 30 minutes of exercise, all of a sudden just diverting it from giving your energy away to just giving your time and energy to yourself, because they're the only two commodities that we have, time and energy. And, just think about, I guess, always paying yourself first, always saying, or always questioning, is this thing over here that I'm putting energy towards, is it actually really serving me? Is it something that I enjoy doing? Or is it something that I feel I should be doing? They're two totally different things. If you think you should be doing it, then that's probably, the part of your mind that you don't want to be listening to. If you feel like you want to do it, that's completely different. So now's a great opportunity for everybody just to reset, to ask the questions. Is this the right path that I'm on? Or is this a great time now just to kind of, maybe just take it easy, just chill out. Maybe explore letting go of some of those identities that you're really attached to. Ask the question of what's important to you, your values. Are you giving up aspects of your family life and experiences for maybe an illusion, maybe something that you think you'll get in 10 years' time, through whatever it is, money accumulation, investments, it could be business, whatever it is. Just ask those questions, and I just encourage you just to take that time just to sit down with yourself, because we're just so distracted by everything. And it just gets you in a fight or flight mode all the time. You just always, I didn't realize it. Like I went to a naturopath during this time when I was sort of changing from being this super productive person to just going, nah, I'm just going to chill out. And I went to this naturopath, and she told me, you've got a lot of adrenaline running through your system. I can see it, and we did some, some testing and things like that. But I couldn't see it because it's so normal in our society. The next door neighbours, working 60 hours, you're working 50. So it's sort of like, oh, well, not so bad because John next door is kind of doing all right. So, without comparing yourself to other people, just, give yourself that time just to reset. And that's all I wanted to talk about. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next vid. Cheers.